Good morning and welcome to Yoga Dharma TV. My name is Fran and this morning I'm going to be introducing the Pawanmuktasana Series to you. This works on the joints. It's the anti-rheumatic series. It's also particularly good at working out any problems in the abdomen, so with digestion, irritable bowel. We're going to be working with the beginning part of the sequence, and my student is Nicolette, who is wonderful. I'm sure you've met her before on YouTube. So before you practice Pawanmuktasana, you need to think about how you're going to sit. Nicolette's going to be sitting on the floor. Some of you will prefer to sit on a chair, and as I've mentioned later on, some of you will prefer to use a wall behind you. You can use blocks underneath your knees. Nicolette has preferred this morning not to, but it honestly is dependent on the day. Sometimes she would and sometimes she wouldn't. As of myself, sometimes I use props and sometimes I don't. It really depends on the day. I hope you enjoy the sequence. There really is no contraindications for this. I mean, it is just down to you with your back problems, so using chairs is appropriate if you have back problems, but for the actual asanas themselves, you're absolutely fine to practice. Thank you. Thank you very much, Nicolette, for joining us this morning. So for this practice, Nicolette is welcome to sit with her back against the wall. This morning she's decided not to, but please feel welcome if you're practicing at home to use a wall if your back is feeling a little sore. You can also practice with blocks underneath the knees if you wish to, but for this morning, Nicolette's just going to bring her legs out in front of her. Okay, and we're just going to start by working the toes. She's going to start by scrunching her toes and then releasing the toes. And scrunching and releasing and scrunching and releasing and scrunching and releasing. And then pointing the toes forwards and backwards. And bringing the toes forwards and backwards. And taking the toes forwards and backwards and forwards and backwards. She's now just going to pick up her right leg and straighten the leg at the shin as she breathes in. She's going to lift the leg up and then exhale, release. And then inhale, lift and exhale, release. And inhale, lift. Exhale, release, and simply lifting and releasing and letting the leg go. And onto the other side, just lifting and releasing, lifting and releasing, and lifting and releasing, and lifting and releasing and letting the leg go. And don't be concerned if you hear any crackling in your knees, just allow it. Remember, it is the anti-rheumatic sequence, so it's quite normal to hear a little bit of noise whilst you're working. Okay, so she's going to now pick up the right leg again, and she's just going to start to circle the hip to the side, just gentle circling movements one way. So Nicolette has a little bit of discomfort in her hips, so she's not going to go balmy. So this just shows you that you can take it nice and gently if you need to, and then gently working the leg in. It's just easing out the hip joint, so you're not trying to hurt it, you're just trying to ease it out. And then release, and then working the other side, so just gently circling, releasing that hip joint, and then working the other way around. That's wonderful, Nicolette. She works so beautifully, so carefully. Okay, so she's going to butterfly the leg now. Now, because she has a little bit of discomfort, she's going to take the hands underneath the knees and just gently support underneath the knees and just draw the legs up and take the legs down and draw the legs up and take the legs down and draw the legs up and take the legs down. One more time, lifting up and then releasing down. So now it's up to you as the student. If you prefer your legs out in front of you, that's fine. But if not, you could cross your legs if that feels a little easier. So whichever feels easier for you. She's just going to keep her wrists resting on her knees and just scrunch the fingers and then release. And scrunching the fingers and releasing and scrunching and releasing and scrunch and releasing and scrunch. Right up, hold that and just circling her wrists one way and then circling the wrists the other way. And circling one way and circling the other way. So remember, all of these postures can be practiced on a chair. So if you're only even doing the upper body, if you feel you can't do the lower half of the body, this can be practiced on the chair. And then releasing the hands now, allowing the palms to face upright, and she's just going to breathe in and bring her fingertips towards the shoulders. Sometimes they don't reach for everybody, and then exhale away, and then breathing in, drawing the fingertips in, and exhale away, and drawing the fingertips in, and exhale away, and drawing the fingertips in, and exhale away. And breathe in, draw the fingertips into the shoulders, and then she's going to just circle her shoulders one way, whichever feels better first of all, and then the other. And one way, and then the other. And then just release the hands down by your side. Now if you can, you're going to take your legs wide at this point. Okay, if you need to have blocks underneath your knees, again, that's absolutely fine. And just bring the right hand in front and take the left hand behind. Take an in-breath, lift the tummy, and as you exhale, start to rotate to look over the shoulder. If you can, just lift the gaze very slightly. And then breathe in, come back to center and swap sides. And then she can work a little faster if she wishes to, or if she wants to work slowly, that's also fine. It's however your student or you are feeling today. And then breathing in when she's ready, coming back to center. Again, it's up to her whether she sits cross-legged, kneeling, however she wants to sit is absolutely fine for this next exercise. So Nicolette's now going to start to work with her neck muscles, so being mindful, so we want to keep the chin tucked in slightly, and she's going to raise the right hand to the ceiling and just take the right hand over the top of her head, just over the top of the left ear. She's going to take her left hand away a little as she can, take an in-breath, and then exhale, take the head slightly over towards the right hand side, not the leg. And then breathing in, coming back to center and just swapping sides. And she's just going to repeat that one more time in each direction. Some people like to move the hands further away, some people a little bit closer. Again, it's how your neck's feeling today. And again, Nicolette can find the neck a little troublesome sometimes. And back to centre. So she's going to start to rotate the head now. So it's very careful, slow movements, no swinging movements, no whiplash. And then she's going to work in the opposite direction. And then breathing in, coming back to centre. Sitting nice and upright again. Last posture, she's going to take an in-breath, and as she exhales, she's going to look over the right shoulder. Breathe in and come back to centre. And exhale over the left. And breathe in, come back to centre. And then easing her way over the right shoulder. And back to centre. And over to the left. And back to centre. And she's now completed this part of the series. So she may wish to end up in pose of a child, or she may wish to end up on her back, whichever one feels more appropriate for her today. These postures help release the winds in the joints, but also in the tummy. So pose of a child is particularly good. Also a Pawanmuktasana, which is the same posture but lying on your back. Well done. Breathing in, and she's going to ease her way up. And thank you very much, Nicolette. You have been a wonderful student, as always. Thank you very much for joining us today on Yoga Dharma TV. As I said earlier, my name's Fran, and thank you so much to my client, Nicolette. Wonderful as always. I hope you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe. Goodbye.